Please come take your seats and let's get this thing started. What an amazing turnout. Welcome to the first of its kind StartUp Humboldt pitch competition. We are super excited to have you here, and we'd like to actually know who's here a little bit more. Oh boy, that's going to make it a little harder. How many of you are students? If you can, clap your hands, make some noise. All right, welcome to this event. We're really glad to have you here. How many of you are current business owners? All right, entrepreneurs. How many of you are here to support, this should get loud, I hope. How many are here to support all of the pitches this evening? Nice. And how many of you are dreaming of starting a business someday? Okay. Well, you're all in the right place. Tonight it's a celebration, and we're here to honor entrepreneurship and the entrepreneurs, not just in the StartUp Humboldt community, but in all of our communities. We're going to meet finalists here tonight, but we also saw the tables of entrepreneurs over here, and of course, you're meeting entrepreneurs throughout the entire crowd. So StartUp Humboldt is all about entrepreneurship, but we're actually about a little bit more than that as well. So we wanted to start today to kind of tell you what StartUp Humboldt's all about, why we're here. StartUp Humboldt wants to celebrate how entrepreneurs, they build and expand our culture. And what we mean by that is entrepreneurs are, by definition, change agents. They see problems and they don't see barriers. They see solutions and opportunities. So what you're going to hear tonight are a set of problems that some of our best have said, you know what, I'm going to knock that down. I'm going to turn that problem into a business opportunity. What that does for our culture is it has our sights into the future. We're moving forward. It's an optimistic view of not only who we are today, but who we can become tomorrow. So culture. Number two, community. This is an incredible expression of that, actually. But if you walk just 2 blocks or so that way, we have farmers markets, we have Friday night markets, we have Arts Alive, all of these types of events where our artists, our makers, our growers, our builders come together, and we come together. And entrepreneurs are community builders. We want to celebrate that as well. And finally, and very importantly, the entrepreneurs are economically growing our economy, right? That didn't make sense. Economic vitality is driven by the success of these entrepreneurs. So the future of our jobs, the future of our living wages. My son's here tonight. I care a lot about his ability, if he sticks around, to have a good job to go to and have a choice of maybe staying in Humboldt County and building the business he wants to build. So these are the reasons why StartUp Humboldt exists, and these are the reasons why this competition exists. So this is why we're here today. So the cheers that I heard for you for the pitches this evening, please keep that up. Could be kind of a little bit of a long night because we've got a lot of exciting pitches and amazing people for you to meet. So let's get this thing started. Thank you so much for coming. I'd like to introduce now instructor from Cal Poly Humboldt and also from BlueTechValley, Northern California Hub, director, the amazing Lonnie Grafman.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris. I'm Lonnie Grafman, and I'm really excited to be here today. I'm going to talk for about a minute with you about innovation. Silicon Valley defines innovation as desirability. Do people want it? Feasibility. Can you actually do it? And viability. Can you make a business out of it? But Silicon Valley is missing one really important aspect from that definition, and it's an aspect that we're really good at here in Northern California. And that's, is it worthwhile? Does it make our world a better place? Does it bolster our economy? Does it improve our community, our air, our water, our land? And I think that you'll see tonight that our ventures tackled desirability, feasibility, and viability, and they're also quite worthwhile. Thank you. I'm going to have Samantha tell you more about innovation and the ventures that are about to go. And can we get a big hand for Samantha? Yeah, Samantha. Woo!
Hi. So, innovation, that is what brings us all here tonight. Welcome to the StartUp Humboldt Competition, the very first StartUp Humboldt Competition. My name is Samantha Edwards, and I am the program coordinator. StartUp Humboldt was founded by Cal Poly Humboldt, College of the Redwoods, Lost Coast Ventures, the Institute for Entrepreneurship Education, and NorCal SBDC. These organizations came together with a common goal of inspiring innovation, supporting the growth of scalable businesses, creating living wage jobs, and strengthening our economic resilience. And this initiative is our catalyst for change. This is our flagship program. We launched at the end of last year, and we're surprised at the caliber of ideas that we got. In our first year, we had 108 applications from all over Northern California. Yeah, it was exciting. And from those 108 applications, we selected 24 brilliant semifinalists, and we immediately paired them with a one-on-one mentor. And we brought them through a series of advanced entrepreneurial courses on business model iterations, financial projections, marketing, and storytelling. And that's why we're here tonight, is to listen to those stories. Of those 24 semifinalists, 10 finalists were selected. All of them put together detailed portfolios. There are 6 contestants in our Scale Venture category, competing for 2 prizes, totaling $175,000. Yeah, this is a game-changing. This is big. And there are 3 contestants in our Micro Venture category, competing for 2 prizes, totaling $25,000. We have 2 independent judging panels. These independent judging panels have pre-scored those contestants based on those detailed portfolios through the lens of desirability, feasibility, and viability. But this evening, they are focused on community impact and storytelling. So without further ado, let's listen to those stories. I'm going to kick it off to Will Franklin, director of the North Coast SBDC, who is going to introduce our Scale Venture judges. Enjoy the show. Shark Tank in the Redwoods. Let's do it.
What a crowd. Thank you very much. And I'm getting down to business here. We're getting down the funnel into operations tonight. It's my honor to suggest that you turn off your ringers. Yes, thank you very much. It's also my honor to introduce the judges for the Scale Ventures. We're going to have 6 Scale Ventures and pretty rapidly transition into the 3 Micro Ventures. That's how the flow is going to go tonight. I think it's time to bring up our esteemed judges, and I'm a little nervous because the last time I was in front of a judge, I had 200 hours of community service. But I think this is a different set of judges. I'm pretty sure they're here to support entrepreneurship and renegades like me. So without further ado, we are really honored to have a state official, in a way. She works for the state. Claire Whitmer, come on up. Claire Whitmer, yes. If it wasn't for Claire, SBDC wouldn't be here, so thank you, Claire. Claire Whitmer is the Deputy Director of the California Office of Small Business Advocate. We call it Cal OSBA. Cal OSBA is a mission-driven department of the state of California, and its mission is to make sure small businesses have the resources that they need to launch and scale and succeed. So they really put a lot of energy and time behind this type of project. And Claire started in the Silicon Valley working for major Silicon Valley brands, and she discovered her true mission at Cal OSBA, which is to link entrepreneurship to economic mobility and drive community wealth in underserved areas. Welcome to the underserved area of the North Coast. Thank you, Claire. Next is AJ Herrera. AJ, is AJ in the house? All right, AJ. AJ is a high-tech marketing leader, brand strategist, storyteller whose background includes successful entrepreneurship and economic development initiatives. As the VP of corporate marketing of Cloudflare, if you don't know, it secures about 25% of the entire internet. That's a big deal. So thank you for keeping my data safe. Thank you. AJ, beyond that, he helps protect a quarter of the internet and brings an expertise into branding and building communication in large corporations. Thank you, AJ. Next, a local boy, Jason Ramos. He needs no introduction. I'm not going to talk about basketball, Jason. Okay, tribal chairmanship. This is our tribal chair of the Blue Lake Rancheria. He is an active leader in our region. He serves as the president of the Cal Poly Humboldt's Native American Advisory Council. He's on the boards of Sponsored Programs Foundation, and he's on the board of the Providence St. Joseph Hospital in Eureka. More importantly, his environmental leadership has been recognized by the U.S. Energy Department and the Environmental Protection Agency. He's a true leader. Thank you. We're so happy to have you. The next, I'm not going to say it. The next esteemed judge is S.K. Lee. I am just thrilled. I've recently met S.K., and once you meet her, you're going to love her as much as I do. S.K. she's lived every stage of the entrepreneurship journey, not just once, but twice. She is a successfully exited founder. That's a big deal. When you exit, that's your money. So she has done this not once, but twice. Right now, she is doing so many things, I have to read this. She is an investor, and she's an angel. She's an angel investor. Thank you. She's an angel investor in 45 companies and funds. Her leadership, she's a leadership coach in 800 companies throughout the world, and she mentors them through the toughest stages of startup. She brings operation instinct, investor insights to high-performing leadership worldwide, helping them grow, execute, build companies that perform, endure, and matter. Thank you. And last but not least, if you need some shoes, this is our man, Matt Welton, formerly the Senior Director of Talent Acquisitions for Adidas. Yes, that's Adidas if you're from Northern California. Yeah, he's Adidas, worldwide, world famous, and he's the founding partner of Scalar, really awesome, executive recruiting company. They support early stage, high growth companies. He's a Cal Poly alum. That's an HSU alum, right? HSU in the house right here. Oh, how many HSU alums? Yeah! All right, I'm not supposed to be holding the mic any longer. Okay, yeah, he's an alum, and he brings experience and technical assistance in strong team building and how to get the right people to drive execution and long-term success. That is our esteemed judges. I hope I don't get 200 hours of community service. Guess what? Now the show begins. And without further ado, we're going to have 6 scaling ventures that are vying for a $125,000 award and a $50,000 award. The first up is sunken seaweed.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming out tonight, and a big thank you to StartUp Humboldt for making this happen. My name is Tori Polizzi. I'm the co-founder of Sunken Seaweed, and we grow food in the ocean that's nutritious, delicious, and regenerative. So I met my wife, Leslie, over a decade ago while we were students at Cal Poly Humboldt. And as undergraduate researchers, we fell in love with each other and the marine ecosystems that we were studying. But unbeknownst to us, we were part of the survey team that wound up documenting what is today called the perfect storm, a series of events that led to a 93% die-off of our kelp forest here on the North Coast. So we got our diplomas and set to work devising a way to help our imperiled ecosystem. And on our pursuits, we found that seaweed farming was an innovative yet untapped solution here on the West Coast. Not only does seaweed farming make an amazing food product, but it also bolsters the marine environment in which it's grown. And this industry opens the door to be a commercial partner with the NGOs, tribes, and institutions leading kelp restoration efforts. And here's the best part. By creating food products around seaweed, we're offering everyday people the opportunity to take part in our climate solution. So starting in such a nascent industry, we've had to be scrappy from the get-go. And this bootstrapping has helped us build meaningful relationships. Leaders in aquaculture, science, and conservation have given us the support that we need to jump over each and every hurdle that we faced as a company. Hurdles like permitting, site selection, or, incongruencies with VC funding. And we believe that vertical integration is the keystone to a successful seaweed company, because we can control our transparency, our quality, our supply chain, all while creating meaningful jobs right here at home. Our team is a group of seaweed nerds, and they've helped us scale prove our concept here in Humboldt. On our 1,000 square foot pad of tank space, we can grow 18,000 pounds of seaweed a year. On our quarter-acre ocean farm, we can grow up to 10,000 pounds of kelp a year. Now, these are small but strongly scalable numbers vetted by 2 years of trial and error. And in addition to that, we've built a state-of-the-art kelp hatchery so we control our own seed supply. We have a massive dehydrator where we can process up to 1,000 pounds of seaweed a day, and a mill that turns all that material into our products. And we currently sell an array of seaweed products. Our smoked dulse flakes, our califurikake, our green nori are our kitchen pantry staples. Sprinkle it on your eggs in the morning. Put it on your popcorn. Put it on your kids' macaroni so they actually eat. The point is, all the products that we produce are designed to be a seaweed gateway for the American consumer. We're asking for $125,000 to scale our business, to unlock the scaling of our business. $30,000 going towards farm expansion, letting us double our product volume and reach our addressable markets from here to San Francisco. Now, our main customer segment is best reached through online channels. So we want to put $40,000 into building an e-commerce platform and marketing campaign that gets our Humboldt-grown brand into the hands of our customer segment. We think that combining these sales strategies, we can increase our revenue by 50 to 70% year over year and be $1 million business by 2030. Now, Sunken Seaweed has engaged hundreds of young learners in seaweed aquaculture over the years. And thanks to education collaborations, we've also been able to train students in tribal nations in seaweed farming. We even taught Al Roker a thing or two about seaweed. We're Sunken Seaweed. We're building an industry that will anchor Humboldt's blue economy as the West Coast hub of regenerative aquaculture. Our products offer customers quality, transparency, and the opportunity to take climate action. Let's revitalize our working waterfronts with meaningful blue-green jobs. We can do this. It's all within our reach, but right now, we need your help. Thank you.
All right, we're going to give the judges 4 minutes if they have any questions for Tori Pelosi. All right, judges. Anybody want to go first?
I do.
Yep. you do.
Yes.
I love the focus on the environment. I love the focus on production. The value of this company is going to be limited by the extent to which you can get people excited about going out and buying seaweed as a food, which means you have to create demand for something that doesn't currently have high demand. Tell me specifically about your plans for doing that, because an e-commerce platform can meet demand, but it's the storytelling and the marketing that are actually going to be required to build demand. So help me understand how you're going to do
Absolutely. And you know, a business that we like to take a real page from in doing this is, you know, some of our deep collaborators with Hog Island Oyster Company. They've done an amazing job at being ahead of the curve with science communication throughout their years of being a business and being effective storytellers. So we want to be able to mimic that in every way that we can. But we do think that, you know, being on the cutting edge of things with seaweed farming, showing people that this actually makes a difference on our planet, and really effectively communicating that to them through storytelling, that we can be successful.
Do you think you can unlock buyers that are not primarily buying it for environmental reasons? Because that's the big market.
So, you know, our first customer segment, first and foremost, is our eco-optimizers, and they are buying it for that environmental purpose. But there's multiple customer segments. Take, for instance, a concerned parent who wants to buy, or their kids like seaweed snacks already, but they don't know where that's coming from. They want certificates, you know. They want to be able to read the back of that and see that it's grown in the United States, and that it's not full of heavy metals or something like that. So that's one example, but there's multiple customer segments that I think we can address. Also our functional foodies and our chefs, of course.
Great, thank you.
I have a quick question. First of all, congratulations for going first. That is not easy. So. Okay. So you started the presentation with the 1993 disaster, right? How are you planning for and augmenting for when there is climate-impacted issues with your farming? Where do you source from there to meet demand? Once you've created it, what happens then?
Are you saying what would we do in the event that we have another warm water blob that comes through Humboldt Bay and really affects our crop? That's a big concern of ours, right? That's a risk of this business, and we could have a huge crop loss. What we have done is built relationships with a few other seaweed farms going up and down the West Coast that we can rely on, and they can rely on us in turn. So if they're low for whatever reason, this happened this last summer, you know, where a seaweed farm up in Oregon, you know, lost most of their product and called me up and got some. Cool. So having that exchange between, you know, friendly competition, I think, is really important for aquaculture in general. Like, the aquaculture community is pretty tight-knit. We want each other to succeed.
Okay.
Can I ask a question about the cost of infrastructure? That, let's say we create the demand, you are seeing increasing demand for your products. How are you going to scale the organization? And it seems like it could be a high-cost venture to be increasing production. And this is a good amount of money, but that doesn't necessarily answer the question about scaling if it really takes off.
Yep. So I think this funding can get us into our phase 2 development of a business. Anything dealing with seawater is expensive, right? Pumps, filters, all that kind of stuff. But, you know, we have already initially put a good amount of investment and capital into the initial farm, and we've already built it to simply turn on new nozzles. All we need to do at this point is buy tanks, and we can scale into that phase 2. Once you hit something like a phase 3, you're looking at larger raceways for seaweed, really big, like think of Olympic-sized swimming pool or something like that. And yeah, I think if we get the gears rolling with this phase 2, we'll be able to raise that funding for phase 3.
That is awesome, Tori. You did a great job. Thanks. I love it. Somebody else gets the question. I guess 4 minutes is going to be tough. Can you hear the judges? Sort of, yes. All right, just lean in a little bit. All right.
What? We're hearing a little louder from the judges.
Okay, a little louder. Okay. Yeah, we'll just take as many as they can. We told them to be concise, so that worked really well. Does that sound good? Okay. All right.
All right, up next, for our sound person, up next on mics 3 and 4, up next is Jersey Scoops.
Meet the Foggy Bottoms boys. These are their Jersey cows. It's no longer a secret, Jersey milk makes the best ice cream. Jersey Scoops ice cream, made in the historic dairy town of Lolita, California, every small batch flavor starts with their organic, grass-fed A2 milk, protein-rich and lactose-free. The boys have 6 new North Coast-inspired collaborations with their favorite Humboldt makers. Ready for your Jersey Scoops experience? Real California milk, real good times.
I'm Cody.
And I'm Thomas, and we're the Foggy Bottoms Boys, founders of Jersey Scoops Ice Cream, and with the most irony, dairy intolerant. That's right, dairy farmers who can't enjoy their own dairy.
With our education and family's Jersey Dairy Farm, we have reformulated ice cream for the 1 in 4 Americans that experience dairy intolerance just like us.
We hold degrees in soil science, business, and in marketing, and we have crafted full-strength, lactose-free ice cream for the conscientious consumer who cares about the detail in every step.
Our ice cream begins on the same pastures my family's cows have grazed for over 100 years. Oh, shoot. For over 100 years.
Our community.
Wait.
Our community? Over 100 years. Yeah, over 100 years.
Over 100 years. 10 years ago, we returned home to my family's dairy farm to begin our family and build a new, more inclusive and accessible dairy brand.
We lead the dairy industry through continuous social media education and
TikToks. A sprinkle.
some sprinkle of trending TikTok dances for your entertainment. Our inclusive, community-inspired flavors are as unique as the community we make them with, and we've only just begun. We have taken innovation to the next level, from the soil to the sale. Our carbon farming practices produce high-quality, nutrient-dense, highly digestible milk that everyone can enjoy and feel good about.
Here on the Redwood Coast, we are helping to cultivate a community where healthy soils and great food connect. Our cows graze on coastal pastures 365 days a year, and with their milk, we craft ice cream that connects people directly to place. Our goal? To cultivate lifelong customers committed to the North Coast through ethical and regenerative pasture-raised protein. Because great ice cream starts with great milk, and great milk begins with healthy soils.
Our loyal customer base and international following on social media of over 300,000 has inspired us to craft experiences that have built brand loyalty, hosting farm-to-table dinners, providing tours and ice cream making courses for our community and for those traveling across the world, and even as far away as New Zealand.
After years of requests from our fans, we are ready to expand wholesale delivery to the San Francisco Bay Area, where there are more than 1.3 million people that need a solution to ice cream digestibility.
We are the farmers, we are the processor and the distributor, so we have the milk. We sprinkle a little natural enzymatic magic to make it lactose-free and distribute with the zero emissions delivery fleet. The result? Local jobs, tourism destinations, and real Redwood Coast milk that everyone can enjoy.
We currently offer 6 signature flavors for wholesale. Our top seller, Danish Butter Cookie, honors our heritage and traditional family recipes.
Our 6 new flavor-inspired collaborations with some of our local makers turned brand ambassadors are inclusive of Bolt Maple Bourbon Pecan, Slice of Humboldt Pie Key Lime, and Patches Triple Chocolate Brownie.
The California ice cream market is projected to reach $1.9 billion this year, while continuing to grow more than 5% annually. Our Bay Area expansion positions us at the center of two growing trends, that of premium craft dairy and digestive wellness.
Since opening our scoop shop, we've seen incredible growth in just 3 years, scooping up over 100,000 scoops, entering 52 wholesale pint locations and 6 scoop shops across Northern California, with more strategic partnerships lined up for our expansion.
We've received media callouts across our Golden State for our efforts in improving our community and celebrating our model of community-minded regeneration.
We are the farmers, and we have the degrees. We have the understanding and education. Together, we work on the marketing.
We do the science behind our regenerative pasture management and help connect our community with our story of Jersey Scoops.
The rest of our team has over 35 years of experience with proven innovative companies like these.
We are seeking your support to help make our planned entrance into the Bay Area a smashing success, modeling to scale even further.
With that support, we will build brand awareness through targeted in-store sampling, ad buys, vehicle wraps, and a driver as we launch with Molly Stones and these fine retailers. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. You got 4 minutes of questions over there. Hi.
You included some market research about the size of the market in California. How many other lactose-free brands of ice cream are there on the shelves that buy right, let's say?
Sure, there's about 2 other brands, but most of the time they're like vanilla and chocolate.
So most brands lack a diversity of lactose-free options, and we're embracing a wide range of options to give those who are lactose intolerant the ability to enjoy a wide variety of flavors.
Are all those flavors for real? You have all those flavors right now?
Yeah.
Okay, that's incredible. Bring it to the Bay Area. That's where I live.
Coming soon.
And second question, your EV vehicles, can they make it to the Bay Area without having to recharge?
Yeah, we actually got them from a dealership in LA. We have 5 of them. And we're actually partnering with our community, letting them use them and doing our local food distribution. So we did that inaugural with 5 of those vehicles, and we've done it several times in the Bay Area.
Okay.
There's a charge in between, but yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks, Jason.
So first, great product and great idea, and I see that your business model is kind of a linear integrated model. So how much can you produce now, and like what are your plans for the future? How would you expand? You're gonna have to buy more farmland and.
So our model right now, our family milks about 80 cows, and our model is to scale up as we process more of our milk. But as you look towards moving throughout perhaps the West Coast, which would be ideal, that would require us to have the opportunity to reach out and cooperate with other family farms that share our model of regeneration, our family's ethical feelings around agriculture, and bring them into the Jersey Scoops movement.
Those would be local Humboldt families that you are already.
Yeah, our neighbors.
The network is already established.
Yeah, for sure.
The network of co-op farms.
Yeah, and majority of us all hold the same attributes. So American Humane Certified, organic, non-GMO.
Okay. Where are the samples?
Yeah. We were told we couldn't bribe anybody tonight. Otherwise, we would have shown up with samples.
I have a quick question from your business plan. You talked a little bit about manufacturing wholesale. Is that a continued part of your business moving forward, or is that a stopgap right now for kind of maximizing capacity and revenue?
Yeah, great question. Thank you for that. I'm on the business end. And as far as figuring out our own capacity for processing, there's so much complexity within the frozen space. And so between balancing with ice cream and removing the cream that didn't reincorporates with the other milk again, there's opportunities for us to take that byproduct and make it into other byproducts that we can sell locally. But what we're really here to do is serve the North Coast first with any of those products. Our expansion into the Bay Area is to be able to get our brand awareness out as we have that market capability right now with ice cream. more.
I have a question. So I really love your focus on a very particular type of customer with a very particular problem, which is they can't tolerate dairy and they want really good ice cream. So I love that focus. To what extent are you concerned that a brand that already has national recognition and national distribution might see what you guys are doing or just look at the market and say, hey, we could add that pretty easily? How big a risk is that for your business?
Thank you again for that question. For us, we realize it's about capacity and processing, and the technique in which you do lactose-free with enzymatic process, so lactase, actually requires more equipment, and that's the equipment that will continue to work within as we expand. So large-scale manufacturers will either have to slow down their process, which they're not interested in doing, or expand with larger footprints and larger tanks.
All right, let's hear it one more time for Jersey Scoops!
Thank you.
How's it going out there? You ready for the next one? I mean, can it get any better? But yes, we're going to go to Pepper Inflatables.
Hello, my name's Stephen Pepper, and I'm the founder of Pepper Inflatable Technologies. As a lifelong mariner, I've had the opportunity to operate numerous different kinds of craft as a professional captain. And over the years, I've realized that this is a unique opportunity. So basically what I'm saying is that as a professional mariner, I've had the opportunity to operate numerous craft over the years, including this one. That's me decades ago. What I'm going to show you tonight is how this opportunity before us helps us unlock a solution that the United States Air Force is asking us for right now to save lives. This is personal for me. Not long after that photo was taken, I found myself nearly lost at sea in a craft just like this one. These craft don't cut through waves. They bash into them, ship water, fill up like bathtubs, putting at risk swamping the engine, which is what happened to me. Luckily, I was rescued. This is also personal for our team, too. My cousin Ethan retired after 24 years out of the Air Force without having solved the problem we're solving this evening. This problem. How do you save lives without risking additional lives? How do you do it? With the fearsome rescue craft. This is an autonomous, no operators aboard, inflatable, high-performance craft designed to rescue lives at sea. Our patented inflatable construction hull provides a deep V and the hydrodynamic performance to get the job done. We call it hard hull performance without the hard hull limitations of space and weight. So when you think about rescue craft, what would you rather have? Two hard hull craft on standby where you can rescue 30 people, or 10 kits where you can rescue 150 people? That's us. These craft are easily packaged, shipped, stowed, and deployed. They're hand portable and modular kits with no tools required for field assembly in minutes. They're satellite guidable for long distance recoveries. What's our traction? We've patented and prototyped the core technology, and we're already working with Air Force and Navy advisors towards a defined procurement pathway. So our path forward is clear. Rapid prototyping, field testing with the Air Force, deliver a pilot order, facilitate adoption, and move on to the Navy. All with other transaction authority contracts designed for prototyping and production for rapid deployment into the field, because this is an immediate identified need. This is a multi-thousand unit opportunity. Our service addressable market, just looking at the Air Force alone, between now and 2030, is between 150 and 300 craft, not counting the Navy and allied navies. Just looking at at the Air Force alone, that's between 70 and 80 million in revenue opportunity. There are 4 steps to our model. Equity gets us through the testing and prototyping. We expect a pilot in 2028, facilitate adoption through 2030 before moving on to the Navy. In 2030, that's an estimate of 50 million in revenue alone, all on consistent margins backed by contracts. We turn profitable in 2029. We grow to 15 million in profit in 2030, all on $2.6 million in equity, with 1.7 million in CapEx, requiring a peak net working capital of 4.5 million about 2029 that we expect to finance backed by our contracts. This makes for a very capital efficient and non-dilutive business. We're looking to bring meaningful regional economic opportunity to the area. PIT alone, by 2029, 28 jobs. Add in indirect and induced, 90 jobs. Minimum technician compensation, about 170K a year. Total labor income, 6 million, generating an economic output of 11 million. And this is just the beginning of our ramp. The University of Maine's Advanced Structures Composite Center is an example of what a successful advanced manufacturing ecosystem looks like. 300 patents secured, 14 spun off companies. We want to help Cal Poly Humboldt realize something like this. And so today we're asking for $200,000 to prove out our minimum viable product.
Let's hear it for Pepper Inflatables. Judges, questions for Pepper? Stephen.
I really like the focus of the product, right? It's the ultimate rescue craft, and the storytelling opportunities there are amazing. You're going to be subject to the procurement cycles of very large government institutions, and those can shift by years at a time. How concerned are you about your vulnerability to those changes? Because you've got a while before you're starting to make money.
Sure. So the Air Force, we're already working with Air Force advisors that are steering us towards defined procurement pathway. And the instrument that follows along with those pathways, basically those exercises and programs, are called the Other Transaction Authority contracts. So they're defined, although they are subject to different annual budgets and so on and so forth, they are designed for immediate needs on the order of months, not years. So for example, the one that we need your help for tonight, the planning for it starts next month for a 2027 execution.
Thank you.
So fantastic product. I really like it. I think it fills a niche, and it's a really innovative idea. What I'm wondering is, look, say you get a contract. Do you really, it sounds like right now you're really kind of in the research and development phase, or can you actually produce units right now? And if so, like how many? Or but I guess where I'm going is, are you going to have to tool up and hire employees?
Right, that's a great question. So we're asking for 200,000 because that's what we're told to ask for. And, and about half of that gets us through naval architecture and engineering. And the other half of that gets us our actual minimum viable product. And that's what we need in order to be able to show the Air Force that we can deliver what they're asking for. And then once we enter the program with there's actually opportunities for R&D funds through that program to level us up to the autonomy that we're talking about. And our autonomy partner is called Tilt Autonomy, and they're back east. Did that answer your question? Yes. So, okay, thank you.
I hope you're talking to the AF Works folks, the innovation lab at the Air Force. Mm-hmm. Okay, good. So one thing that I'm interested in is the software piece of it. How far are you along with the kind of autonomous software layer that goes on top, and can that software be used on other vehicles?
Yes and yes. So to speak more specifically about that, this need was identified and defined through the Air Force's Blue Horizons program, and Tilt Autonomy basically proved that they could deliver the solution on the autonomy side. And they are an agnostic autonomy partner, which is why they're a great fit for us.
So you'll be purchasing that piece of this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So this entire modular kitted craft is comprised of about 12 parts. Of those 12 parts, they're all hand portable. Of those 12 parts, there are 4 different kinds of parts. There's the large format additive manufacturing parts, the inflatable parts, the autonomy kit package, again, that's field assemblable, and there's the inflatable hull.
So what are the economics of the software partnership?
Basically, we would purchase kitted packages from them that are all hand toolable. I mean, basically, they're kits that you don't need tools to install them into the kitted craft. So these craft would be in kits, in single kits, containerized kits.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you. Let's hear it for inflatables.
Let's hear it for Dara Analytics.
Hi, everybody. Thank you guys for being here. My name is Ian Guerrero, founder of Dara Analytics, and I'm going to tell you about an energy problem and how we can solve it on the North Coast. So, a bit of technical stuff. The grid was designed for large centralized power plants, but we now have thousands of solar arrays, batteries, and electric vehicles all generated and using energy at different times and in different places. And prices now change every 5 minutes, and they change depending on where you are. But these systems don't coordinate, and that lack of coordination causes real problems. For example, you can generate clean solar energy in the middle of the day, get paid next to nothing for it, sometimes throw it away or pay people to take it, and then turn around and charge electric vehicles with imported fossil energy. Same place, same day, your own clean energy wasted. So Dara Analytics coordinates how energy systems work together. We optimize when and where they generate, store, and consume energy so that they stop competing with each other and start working together as a unified portfolio. And this means less wasted clean energy, lower costs and higher revenues, and reduced stress on the grid. We're not building new infrastructure, we're making the infrastructure that exists work better. So we're focused on mid-sized mission-driven organizations, so transit agencies, harbor districts, tribal governments. So when we recover revenue for them, it stays local. And that means more money for public infrastructure work and lower costs for ratepayers. And importantly, we keep local control over systems. Right now, the most advanced tools in the energy industry are used by large investor-owned utilities or major financial players, or they stay locked away in research. We put those same capabilities in the hands of communities because without that type of optimization, even well-built clean energy systems will underperform for decades. So my background is in research. I have over 14 years across physics, engineering, and energy systems work, mostly here in Humboldt. I led the energy market modeling for the Redwood Coast Airport microgrid and for offshore wind transmission and storage options for the North Coast to try and make sure that there are pathways that work for the communities here. I've also co-developed energy strategy plans with tribal governments and transit authorities. I've worked on grid challenges in this region from the transmission level to the facility scale. And Dara is a direct extension of this work. So I came to this competition with research and an idea. And now the core optimization engine has been built and tested with real data for local systems. And we're demonstrating measurable improvement in energy value. But my research here has also given me lasting relationships. I'm proud to say that I'm launching the first pilot with the Eureka tribe, who I've partnered with for over 5 years. So our business model, we take a small base fee depending on system size, and then we share in the value we create. And for our customers, that's 15 to 25% better energy revenues than if they do nothing, and another 8 to 15% on top of that versus going it alone. So we win when our customers do, and that reduces adoption risk, and it creates strong recurring revenue for us. So we're starting on the North Coast, which is one of the most electrically constrained regions in the country, but we intend to expand to similar grid areas in year 3. And this creates an 8 million ARR company with over 20 local high-skill, high-pay careers by the end of year 5. So we're asking for $125,000, and it gets us a couple of very important things. 1, data feeds, and 2, computing power to be able to run the optimizations in real time as needed. So the North Coast is building a clean energy future already. Transit is electrifying, offshore wind is coming, tribal governments are advancing energy sovereignty and resilience work, and there is more local investment in clean energy than ever before. Data analytics is the tool that makes sure that future delivers for the communities that are building it. Thank you. Hi, everybody.
I've got a question. So I really like the focus on resilience, especially for the region. Help me understand to what extent you're proposing a new model for this type of, selling and buying, or or are you taking a model that exists elsewhere and you're enabling it for smaller providers?
A little bit of both. So right now, there's energy arbitrage that focuses on when you generate and store for larger systems, well, for smaller systems as well, but they focus almost purely on price. My model uses a congestion component of the wholesale pricing, and it really works specifically in constrained export regions, which are underserved. Yeah, does that answer it?
It does. How many constrained export regions like that are there in the U.S., and are there international opportunities beyond?
International opportunities, I am not as certain about. In the U.S., there are several. My intention is to start here, and then what's called the Sierra Local Reliability Area, which is a little bit down south, and there are several more in the California, what's called balancing area. And then there are ERCOT. Texas actually has quite a bit of opportunity as well. Yeah.
So from what I understand, the performance-based pricing is the kind of novel insight here on your business model, but that requires you and every partner that you work with to agree on the baseline number.
Yes.
How do you do that?
So it's actually not that novel in the energy industry.
Okay.
I'm intending to partner with people who do that professionally as their own company, doing measurement and verification for that. Yeah.
So in terms of setting the baseline, that's pretty standard?
Setting the baseline will be me.
Okay.
I mean, there are standards that are used in research to look at, yes. I mean, there are standards that are acceptable, but they'll have to be agreed upon during contracting for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
First, great idea, and I think, you are really onto something. My tribe has a microgrid.
Yes.
Managed a little differently. I guess my question is, or is any of your software or analytical processes, is it patented or is it proprietary?
So I'm in the process of getting protections. Just started working with an attorney through the Tech Futures Group. Thank you, SBDC. But it is in process, yeah.
And then I guess my second question would be, with the whole AI revolution, does that keep you up at night?
No, not really, not at all. I mean, so the software I have uses not like LLM AIs, but it uses machine learning algorithms, like what's called random forest. And it doesn't scare me. It's something I'm well versed in. Yeah.
So you're going to be selling to these kind of large institutions one at a time. Can you walk me through your go-to-market process?
Sure. So that's one of the biggest concerns because the public agencies, they have internal procurement or public procurement processes and approval. My intention is to start with pilots, and so try and get them motivated, and then, I guess the go-to-market. I mean, I had the customer list. I've mapped out the particular entities I hope to work with, but I'm not sure if that answers your question.
How much demonstrated demand do you have so far?
Demonstrated demand, I mean, not a lot. I just started when I came to this competition. I think I can prove it in the pilot, But what I can say is that it is supported by research. I mean, the value that is lost by the lack of coordination is generally agreed to be about like 60% if you average across technologies and markets. It's a big problem, and it's a bigger problem here, but
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you, Grid Analytics. Woo! All right, up next is the Rhizome Wellness Collective.
Hi, everybody. My name's Dylan McClure, and I'm the founder of Rhizome Wellness Collective. We're a mental health agency serving transgender and queer people in the greater Redwood region. I'm also a professor at Cal Poly Humboldt in the social work department. Thanks for coming, guys. And oftentimes my students ask me, why'd you become a therapist? And the answer is almost always, 20 years ago, when I was a young transgender person living in Humboldt County, struggling with my own mental health, I couldn't find a therapist who understood my needs as a trans person. Because of that, not being able to find that care, I continued to struggle with my own mental health for 10 more years. Fast forward 20 years now to today, and the same thing is still happening on the North Coast. Last fall, we met Alex, a 23-year-old non-binary person struggling with suicide. They told us about their months-long search for a therapist and 6 phone calls they made. First and second phone call, misgendered. Third phone call, I don't specialize in that. Fourth phone call, I don't take insurance. Fifth phone call, maybe we can explore the confusion behind your gender identity. Sixth phone call, no answer, no call back. Rhizome exists because I'm not willing to let this continue to be the story for our trans and queer community on the North Coast seeking mental health care. When trans and queer people can't find safe, affirming care, they don't just go without therapy. This ends up affecting our whole community. They end up in emergency rooms, suffering mental health crisis. They don't go to work. They drop out of school. Young people move to cities that feel safer and more possible. Professionals take all their creativity, their innovation, their skills, everything we're celebrating here tonight, they take it to the Bay Area, Portland, and Seattle. Rhizome's solving this problem with a dual-pronged approach. First, we're providing identity-affirming clinical care. That takes the shape of individual therapy, case management, group therapy, and trauma and substance abuse treatment. And we try to make that as low barrier as possible so people are in treatment after one phone call. Secondly, we have a workforce development program moving through our entire clinical program. What that means is, at the same time we're training young clinicians in how to provide identity-affirming care, we're also teaching them business skills, so that once they finish our training program, they can go out and open their own business in the Redwood region. So this isn't an idea. We've been doing this for 2 years, and so far we've been pretty successful. We've managed to double our revenue year over year, and we're on track to do that again. This is all organic growth, word of mouth. We haven't spent a dime on advertising. And of the 3 clinicians that have finished our training program, 2 of those have now opened their own businesses in our community, and one of those people is about to hire their first employee. This is the cascading effect that's super important to us. You know, the money stuff is really cool, but this is like why I do the work. This is feedback we've gotten from our clients in the last year who get services from us. I finally found someone that listens to me in the way that I need. That's what I needed 20 years ago. That's what Alex is getting today at Rhizome. How's this all possible? Well, I think it goes back to the team. We're the most trans and queer represented clinical team in the region, and I think we might be in the entire state of California. This isn't just a diversity metric. This is really the core of our clinical model. Our lived experience gives us the expertise that other people can't replicate. So I'm here today asking for $75,000. That money will help us increase our clinical capacity by 50% in the next 12 months. And we'll be able to build out operational infrastructure so we can continue to pursue larger state contracts. And it'll also allow us to develop and launch our critical curriculum so that we can share that with other people across the state of California. This money that we're asking for you to invest in us today isn't about one clinic. It's about scaling the mental health workforce in our entire region. It's about keeping professionals here, rooted in anchor employment. This money really will serve thousands, right? And it's about making the Redwood region a safer, more possible place for LGBTQ people where they don't just thrive, but they survive. Thank you.
So you showed some substantive revenue growth over your first couple of years, but help me understand the revenue model better. You also mentioned state contracts, but where is your revenue coming from? Is it coming from patients, insurance companies?
Yeah, so for our first 2 years, our primary service was individual therapy, and so we do a diversified mix of funding there. We do commercial and like state insurance, so Medicaid, et cetera. And then just in the last 6 months, we added our first sort of like larger scale state contract doing case management. And so that's the next layer of adding on revenue. And so the goal over the next like 18 months is to continue to develop out programming so that our programming gets more diversified, and that's where you see that kind of scale starting to happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you hit that scale arrow,
Yeah.
it will be a lot more state money. Is that what you're counting on, or?
No, I think the demand for like individual and like substance use treatment is there. We literally can't hire enough clinicians. I'm trying to like grow at a sustainable pace, so like the demand for services is there. It's really about developing out our business to, expand our reach from Northern California into the rest of the state.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Speaking of clinicians, what is your talent strategy? How are you going about that? It seems like it's probably your biggest piece of work as the owner. Like, how are you going about identifying people with, one, the interest and aptitude to train in your program and then bring them into your network?
Yeah, well, I teach in the social work department at Cal Poly Humboldt, so I kind of get 2 years to vet the graduate students. And then in addition to that, there's very few trans licensed therapists in the state of California, so I have people approach me from all over the state wanting to come and work underneath me.
And is that a network, or do they work for your company?
They work for me.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. And I think you mentioned people opening their own business as well, so are you creating a network within this company as well?
Yeah, so the idea is that they come and work for me, train them up, and then I help them launch their own business.
Okay.
So it's not about like a network I'm controlling, but the idea is that we need a network. We need to work cooperatively to like address the mental health crisis in our state.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I do have a quick question.
Yeah.
So I was reading and really admire what you're doing. This is so incredibly important for many underrepresented populations. The organizational leadership structure that you have is sort of this collective decision-making organization. And as you scale beyond 60 employees and whatnot, how does that scale with you to be as agile as you can with all the decision-making that you need to do at that level?
Yeah, I mean, right now we're able to do it in a truly collective way. I think I envision that as we scale, becoming more of a representative democracy. But I mean, it really, we're a value-based company, and so I think it is about doing the hard work of every worker having a voice and figuring out what that looks like. Young people are coming up and they want a different kind of relationship with their employer, and I think it's like our job to figure out how to have that flexibility to figure out where we don't have to like be the boss, where we can like invite people to join us in those decisions so they can find out that, it's not as simple as A equals B. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's hear it one more time for Rise Up Wellness Collective. You brought some people.
This is our final scale venture. Give it up for GridIQ.
Perfect. Hello, everybody. My name is Aaron Page. In 2017, my hometown burned to the ground from a wildfire while I was studying here at Cal Poly Humboldt. And one thing I realized after the fact was it was more than just a fire. It was a lack of visibility on our electrical grid. That visibility creating problems all over the state and making issues that go undetected over and over again. This is a problem I've been working on ever since. I started as a wildland firefighter, moved into wildfire researching at NOAA, and then eventually worked alongside PG&E and wildfire hardening incentives as an engineer. And one thing I found, firsthand experience, was that the distribution grid is the most unmonitored system we have, creating the biggest problems for our geolocation and recognition of our ignition potential of our wildfire. As you can see, failures within distribution grids make up 92% of electrical service interruptions. And in California particularly, we have insane statistics around this. Over half of the most destructive wildfires link back to electrical infrastructure. In the year 2017 alone, 16 major fires all trace back to some sort of utility equipment. And in California itself, 1.4 million homes are at risk in wild and urban interface areas. And in this region of the North Coast, that equates to tens and thousands of homes, putting people at risk. This is where GridIQ comes in. GridIQ offers a real-time, high-accuracy fault location sensor along our power grid systems. We utilize a patented technology. We have multiple patents right now for high-accuracy fault location on the exact site on the power grid, non-interrupting installation, utility-secure software, and we provide a 30-minute install. Each unit covers 1 mile to 1 meter of accuracy, working with our partners to increase that to 1 inch of accuracy. What you see here is GridIQ in real time. For the first time ever, we're able to use machine learning and AI algorithms to shuffle through massive amounts of signal data, giving us the ability to pinpoint along that grid, but also be able to categorize what anomalies we're dealing with. It provides the grid operators the knowledge they need to give us real-time educated deployment decisions, helping tons of infrastructure and people. Right now, we're currently partnered with the Idaho National Laboratory doing all of the rest of our R&D for high voltage simulations where we can induce these faults in a controlled and safe environment. Not only that, we're already moving into the market. We're in negotiations with a $3 million contract with Tanzania Railway Corporation internationally and advancing on a 50-kilometer pilot in Chile and high forested regions. But that's not all. Here in Humboldt County, we are currently partnered with Schatz Energy Center on deploying with Blue Lake Rancheria for safe re-energization protocol, which is what this funding would go directly toward, right here. And as I speak on stage with you, my team members are currently at SF Climate Week, co-hosting alongside PG&E the Energy Summit, catalyzing critical conversations around grid resilience and innovation. And this means a lot for the North Coast, because what put this place on the map is our natural resources. But a new economy is emerging, and it's not from extracting these resources anymore, it's from protecting them, and that's where GridIQ leads the show. This funding goes directly to expanding our critical team that we need to continue into the next 3 months before we execute this $3 million contract, and right here execute our Blue Lake Rancheria deployment. This will help us build manufacturing right at home, and provide a lot of opportunities for jobs that are high-skilled: engineering, grid operations, utility coordination, project management, you name it. We're looking and targeting a multi-billion-dollar global opportunity. As you can see, wildfire tech is just the top. We're also involved in disaster monitoring, critical infrastructure, and global distribution intelligence. Currently, we're only raising a $250 to $500K pre-seed to help reach these deployment milestones, getting us through that critical gap to execute on these deployments. So let's build the future of the grid safety together, right here in the North Coast.
Sure. Just to kind of clarify for me, does this equipment go on the actual power line?
Yeah, thanks for asking. So we install 1 hardware unit every mile.
Yeah.
We inject a proprietary signal down that line and read those reflections, filtering out from all sorts of noise that we get on the conductor.
So second question, and I know you have it out at the Blue Lake Rancheria by permission because they own their own utility lines.
Yeah.
Is there a barrier with utilities to get permission to get these out on their lines?
It's a great question. So right here at home, utilities operate at long sales cycles, which is why we're operating primarily with international deployments first to generate that revenue, to bridge that gap so we can continue to churn and burn those relationships here. There is a lot of red tape to deal with, the utility here at home, but that's what we're working on. So in order to do so, we don't want to provide a gap for ourselves to, potentially not have the company succeed, so we build revenue now.
question about competition, because
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of companies pitch sort of fire detection drone technology, as well as sort of other technology around detection with other hardware and software solutions. How do you differentiate?
Yeah, absolutely. So in wildfire tech space, I like to categorize, we have essentially 3 phases. We have deployment, which is where the drones come in. There's a fire already started, we need to put it out. How do we get out there quickly? We have post-ignition recognition, which is essentially the fire has started, no one's out there yet. We're determining where the smoke is, how the fire is moving. That's like Pano AI and some other like AI cameras and such. We fall in the pre-ignition phase, where we're essentially trying to find the pinpoints, the location before they ignite. That way we can deploy quicker with the subsidiary companies. And in the partnership slide, we're currently partnering with one of these companies, SenseNet, which is a post-fire ignition AI camera in our deployment. So we offer a package for our clients.
And you're manufacturing this here in Humboldt County?
Yeah, so we have currently 3 units built right now. They're on their way, or else I'd have them to show you. They're on their way to Idaho National Labs to continue our high voltage testing. And we look to manufacture many, many more here, because if we execute on this deployment, we'll have to make 200 units by end of this year.
And you're going to keep that in Humboldt?
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned your immediate hiring, but you need to get 200 units built by the end of this year. Does the talent exist in Humboldt County to build those
Yeah,
today? Or is this a retraining effort that you would need to undergo?
So we have everything essentially engineered, built out, designed. This would be a training opportunity that we'd offer to whoever we hire to then continue that manufacturing. So we have it all laid out.
So I think that you've demonstrated that it's cheaper than undergrounding, but are you proposing this as an alternative to that? Is it as effective? It's certainly cheaper, but is it as effective?
Thank you for saying that. Currently, undergrounding is costing ratepayers millions per mile, about $3 million per mile it costs to underground a line. Now, this is a rapid response, right? We're dealing with, PG&E alone operates 108,000 miles of distribution line. In 2017, we decided to say, let's underground 10,000 miles. By this year, we have 1,000 miles completed. We have a lot to go. We're dealing with aging infrastructure that we have to use other technology while we underground, and at that point, we're not going to do it all. And on that point too, the utility has allocated $73 billion by the year 2030 for grid hardening innovation. So that's exactly what we're tapping into right here.
Tell me how you're getting access to those funds. What's your journey to get access to those funds? Because the money's there, but how do you get it directed to you?
Sorry, can you repeat your question?
How are you guys going to get access to those $73 billion that are allocated for this?
Absolutely. So that's really where our relationship building comes from right now. Like in SF Climate Week, we're co-hosting alongside PG&E to build that relationship, proof case our scenario, show that we're serious about this and we really mean business.
So pilots.
Yes, pilots, revenue, proof casing, laboratory partnerships.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, judges. Thank you. I am going to escort our scale judges to our secret room to figure out who is the winner tonight of the Scaling Awards. We will see you shortly.
Woo! Let's hear it for all of the Scale Venture competitors and the judges. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Up next, we're going to have our micro ventures. So we had, and then we'll have an intermission. Oh, there's lights. Hello. After our micro ventures, we'll have our intermission that gives the judges just enough time. Hi, everybody. I know. It sounded like we were ending. You're welcome to go to the bathroom. We'll have like 2 minutes right now. If you want to put your hands up in the air, get a little stretch on. But I am gonna start to talk about the micro ventures. Hi, how you doing? All right. Go ahead and keep the lights up for a second while people reorient. What did you think about the Scale Ventures? Pretty exciting, right? Yeah, all right. So we're gonna do that same thing for just 3 micro ventures. It's gonna be the same timing. It's going to be the same Q&A, but we're going to have new judges. I'm going to introduce those judges now. Judges, as I introduce you, could you come up to the table? All right, let's get the judges started. First up, Abe Stevens. Come on up, Abe Stevens. Let's hear it for Abe Stevens. Abe is the founder of the Humboldt Distillery, the first distillery on the North Coast, and a leader in certified organic spirits, a fifth-generation Humboldt native. He also serves on the Fortuna City Council and the board of Redwood Region Economic Development Commission. Thank you. Woo. Next up, we got Jennifer Budwig. Jennifer. She's the Senior Vice President and Chief Operating Officer at Redwood Capital Bank, where she plays a key role in supporting local businesses and regional economic growth. Oh, you're already there. Hi. She's a recipient of the Eureka Chamber of Commerce 2021 Leadership Impact Award. She brings a strong commitment to community trust, collaboration in her work across Humboldt. Thank you for being here, Jennifer. Woo! Next up, we got Bob Judavine. There he is. All right, Bob. You know Bob. He's a community leader with a passion for work that makes a difference. Previously served as the Deputy Director for the NorCal Small Business Development Center. He's also chaired multiple local nonprofit organizations and held leadership roles with Cal Poly Humboldt's Office of Economic, Community, and Business Development and Redwood Capital Bank. Thank you, Bob. Woo! Next up is David Narum. David Narum coming up. David Narum is the Resilience Director for the Blue Lake Rancheria. His work focuses on advancing regional resilience through community and economic development, entrepreneurship and innovation programming, and critical infrastructure development. David Narum. David Narum's also who got me to stay in Humboldt 20-something years ago to start teaching, so thank you, I guess. And then finally, Meredith Mayer. Meredith Mayer is the co-owner of Six Rivers Brewery in McKinleyville for more than 20 years, has developed a deep commitment to our community and a proven track record in business leadership. Yeah. Focus on creating inclusive spaces for innovation and mentorship. Meredith is the Executive Director for the Arcata Chamber of Commerce and on the board of Humboldt Made. Thank you all. Woo! All our judges have a tough job, but these judges, you got 3 competitors in the microventure contestants. I'm gonna go ahead and get started right now with our first one. Our first one starts with a chuckle. I was told to chuckle. I don't know if I know how to giggle or giggle. I was told to giggle. If you could just laugh with me. This is LAF Systems. LAF Systems, let's go. I'll get you another mic. I was told to giggle. I don't.
All right. Did you know that every week 400 tons of food waste is leaving the North Coast to be trucked away and buried in a landfill? We're founding LAF Systems, LAF Systems, because we believe that our community shouldn't be paying for fuel, for transportation, when this resource, this is not a food waste disposal problem. We believe this is an opportunity for untapped resource.
So when you go around in the community and you talk to people, you hear the same thing over and over again. People don't like throwing food in the garbage. There's a reason for that. Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, thanks. Okay, as you go around sorry about the loudness. Okay, as you walk around and you talk to people, you hear the same thing over and over again. People don't like throwing food in the garbage, and there's a good reason for that. It's a valuable thing. It has a lot of nutrients in it. And additionally, when you throw it in the garbage and it goes into the landfill, it makes methane, which makes climate change worse. And so this problem is so significant that California actually passed a law that says that it's illegal to throw food waste into a landfill at scale. And despite all these things pushing in this direction, it's very difficult to actually make a solution that scales to meet the needs in our community. Traditional composting is very tough. It's stinky, it's hard to scale, and has environmental quality issues associated with it. It's expensive. And so we started to wonder, what if there's another way to do this? What if we took food waste and we pickled it, sort of the way that we make sauerkraut?
And this is where LAF comes from, lactic acid fermentation. We're adapting the process of making sauerkraut, but for food waste. We're combining 3 different waste streams, food waste, wood chips, and acid whey. Acid whey is a byproduct of cheese making and also a local waste that is also being currently shipped out of the area for disposal. We're fermenting these in a sealed container, so there's no odors, there's no runoff, and there's no problems. After just 2 weeks, we're left with a nutrient-rich soil amendment that is ready for application on local farms. We've trialed this with acid whey from Cypress Grove, and we've treated about a ton of university cafeteria food waste, and we had some of which was very meat and fish heavy, and we had no issues. A similar fermented product has been scientifically proven to benefit soil health as well as crop yields, and our trials are still underway.
So we see this business as being viable for 3 main reasons. The first is cost. So because we don't have to transport out of the region, we can keep things local and our process is fast and low capital expenditure. We can compete with landfilling on cost. And so businesses can save money while they save the planet. Also, we've engaged with regulators early. Before we even came up with the business plan, we started talking to folks in the state to see if we could design a process that would meet the needs of the state. And in these conversations, we're designing a criteria that we can then meet rather than racing to meet someone else's. And then third, community relationships. Our process benefits waste producers, it benefits farmers, and it benefits Cypress Grove or other acid whey producers in our community.
Tonight we're asking for $12,800 to launch our pilot. For a cost less than the disposal fees for the North Coast food waste, the amount of food waste produced here for less than a week. We are going to buy fermentation vessels and initial transportation costs in order to begin serving our local businesses. This will get us to 200 tons per year of food waste processing capacity, which will help us prove the model, start generating revenue, which will reinvest into the business for growth.
Beyond this pilot stage, we see growth is occurring in 2 additional stages. In the next stage, we'll invest in larger containers and use these containers to meet a significant portion of the region's food waste needs. We estimate about $2 million of revenue at that point.
Thank you. Help us generate.
All right, let's hear for LAF.
I was just wondering if you already have a location in your permitting that is required, secured?
No, we don't have that yet, and so we've just been doing experiments. The nice thing about our process is that it is all sealed, and so a lot of the permitting challenges that occur with other approaches are not an issue here.
Seems like the whey is an integral component of your process.
Yes.
But there's probably only a handful of suppliers of that, a few, creamery or a couple cheesemakers. Have you had conversations with them to verify that you can access their whey, like have it or buy it or whatever?
Yeah, so it is currently a waste stream. There's a lot of it. Actually, there's way more than we need in the county, and it's being exported out of the county because it's difficult to deal with. Yeah, we have had conversations with Cypress Grove, but there's other places locally that also make it. For example, the Humboldt Creamery. So.
But Cypress Grove produces more than enough to get to our goal food waste, and they've been extremely supportive.
Have you lined up any customers, either for the waste stream or the fertilizer?
We have some waste producers who have expressed interest in using our services because we are able to undercut the current landfill rates. On the farmer side, we have farmers who are interested in trialing our amendment. This is something that we really need to build the scientific evidence as we would do during the pilot to show its value in agricultural setting.
Excellent, thank you.
What do you see as your biggest threat going forward, and how do you hope to overcome it?
I think not doing something. What's happening right now is not a good position to be in, and I think trying whatever we can to solve this problem is our best way forward.
Good answer.
In understanding your revenue stream a little bit more, is the intent that you would go ahead and provide the barrels, and then whether it's the restaurants or the stores, when they're disposing of the food, they're going to go ahead and pay you instead of paying the landfills. But I'm anticipating that what that would mean is you're just going to be charging them less than if they had to take it to the landfills. But then the second piece to that question is, in regards to the farmers, is the intent to sell them the finished product, or are you planning to give them the finished product?
That's a great
Can you
question.
elaborate on that?
Yeah, so our revenue projections just were based around the disposal alone, but we do anticipate there to be significant revenue on the sales side in the future. That's something where you really have to demonstrate the value of the product in order to get those sales.
And have you given any thought to the organic aspect of it from the standpoint of there's a lot of farmers now that are going organic and don't have the ability to use anything that's not certified organic. Does that play into your model at all? Have you given that any thought?
I haven't explored organic certification, no.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, let's hear it for LAF. Thank you. All right, we started with a LAF. Now it's time to ground. Next up is GroundedAI. Let's hear it for GroundedAI.
Hello? All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Marie Dose with GroundedAI, and I offer practical AI guidance for local businesses. So let's talk about it. AI. Chances are you have an opinion about it. Behind me are just a handful of recent headlines. AI is here, and rural communities are being left behind. I don't want our community to become another depressing headline, and I don't want big tech making decisions for us. What if instead we made those decisions for ourselves, using AI in ways to uplift our local community and leaving it behind where it doesn't? The North Coast needs a trusted local guide with real tech and AI experience. I'm that person. 88% of businesses worldwide are already using AI, up from just 55% 2 years ago. This is one of the fastest technology adoption curves ever recorded. But in rural areas, that number is just 31%, with some sectors as low as 1%. But it doesn't have to be this way. One of my clients, a local contractor, routinely gets requests for scopes of work. These are detailed documents that outline exactly what a construction project will entail. Writing just one today takes him 40 hours. And the thing is, writing it doesn't guarantee he gets the job. It just puts him in the running for it. So I'm building a custom AI workflow for him, so that every time one of these requests comes in, it pulls in the inspection report, photos, project details, and drafts it for him. Now all he has to do is spend 30 minutes over his lunch break, reading through it, making any edits, and send it on its way. 40 hours just became 30 minutes. He saved over $1,400 of his own time, not to mention now he can take on more jobs and hire more local workers. And, and construction is at just 1% AI adoption. We can be ahead of the curve right here in Humboldt County. And it's not just construction. I've spoken to local financial advisors, lawyers, accountants, who all have things taking up their time that we can save with AI. And that's what I'm here to do. I built the first AI consulting firm on the North Coast that meets local businesses where they are with practical face-to-face guidance. So why me? First, this is my home. I grew up here. I love Humboldt County. And there's no other AI consultancy doing this. The alternative is calling an outside consultant who doesn't understand our local area. I'm here and I'm not going anywhere. Second, I have big tech experience. I've built products for some of the most demanding clients in the world. I know what works and what doesn't, and I bring that knowledge directly to local businesses. And third, I have a trust through education approach. I'm working with local organizations to bring AI workshops to businesses to build trust before any sales conversation ever happens. More about me. I have 16 years of tech experience, most recently at Jasper AI, which built one of the first enterprise marketing AI platforms. I've held leadership positions at TripAdvisor and MindBody, and I'm a mom of 2 wonderful toddlers, which also means I'm very efficient with my time. I just started GroundedAI 3 months ago, and I'm already seeing so much traction with local workshops booked. I'm working with Leadership Redwood Coast on their AI strategy, a countywide initiative, and I'm building a referral pipeline through Business Network International. And some really incredible local entrepreneurs who you saw on stage earlier tonight have some nice things to say about me as well. My business model is simple. I'm leading with workshops and education. This leads to a discovery and audit, a half-day session where I surface any unused AI features you may already have in your stack. This leads to implementation with custom workflows, and finally, a monthly retainer for ongoing optimization and support. I'm currently raising $75,000, and my ask for you tonight is $25,000 to go towards hiring my first full-time employee. I'm building the first AI career pathway right here on the North Coast, ensuring that AI expertise stays local. This is more than an investment in GroundedAI. It's an investment in our local economy, because with each local business I'm able to help save time, hire more locally. This builds economic resilience into the fabric of our very community. And I'll leave you with this. After our Shark Tank setting, Mark Cuban recently said, there's going to be 2 types of companies in this world, those who are great at AI and everybody else that they put out of business. So let's be the great ones. I'm Marie Dose with GroundedAI. Thank you.
Hi, just a question in regards to, so you've already started the business, is our understanding. And so how long ago did you start it, and how many customers do you have?
Just in January,
Okay.
I have 1 customer right now, and I'm currently kind of working in the sales process right now, meeting local businesses, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So go ahead.
I saw in your deck that you're looking to build some workshops out. Are you working with local organizations to start those?
Yeah, I've been in talks with the Eureka Chamber of Commerce and SBDC. Yeah.
So you had a slide that said 2,500 month retainer. Are you know, there's the old saying, no business model survives the first contact with a customer kind of deal. And I was wondering, you say you're meeting customers or businesses where you are.
Mm-hmm.
What type of businesses are you marketing to or targeting with that level of retainer? And are
Yeah.
you exploring a tiered pricing network at
Yeah,
all?
good question. Yeah, so those numbers are averages. I definitely have a range in mind between 1,000 to 3K for the retainers. And for those clients specifically, I'm targeting professional services firms. So that would be legal, finance, accounting, and I have already been in active conversation with those folks.
I thought your marketing segmentation was really interesting. Could you speak more, could you give us an example of how you would approach an accountancy with your services?
Yeah, so I would start with really just trying to understand what tools they currently have. Talking to accounting firms already, a lot use tools that have AI features built in, but they're underutilized, and so it may be as simple as just holding a training after I get an understanding of what AI features they have. And then the longer term thing would be a workflow. So like say you're an accountant and you get a lot of the same questions from folks about tax forms. You could have something that could check to see if there are, if you have a knowledge base, and then send an email out to that customer, for example. You could have an AI chatbot or an email agent. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was just curious, since you're at the very early stage of your business, what is it that you need an employee for that you're not able to do yourself at this stage?
Yeah, good question. I think what I've seen is a lot of excitement locally about AI, not wanting to understand, and I think if I had the ability to transfer that knowledge out and start doing that, it wouldn't all be on me. So for things like workshops, for things like meeting customers, it would just really amplify the work I'm already doing and make sure that, I can take a vacation and things like that. Like there's just a little more redundancy and risk mitigation built in from that perspective.
Are you concerned at all about the possibility of AI taking your job?
No, and I love that you asked that question, but I think I've been working with AI tooling for over 3.5 years at this point, and there's something intangible about, not to wax too poetic, but about human creativity that I don't think can be replaced. And I think AI can amplify the most creative aspects of our day-to-day and give us more time for those creative pursuits. And when I see AI slop, you can tell, right? And that human element is something that I don't see being replaced anytime soon.
All right, let's hear for GroundedAI. So we started these micro ventures with the LAF, then we grounded. And now is just to set you up for our next one, which is a punch to the throat. Come on up, throat punch ice cream.
Hello, I'm Eric Wheeler with Throat Punch Ice Cream Company. Our motto is, your taste buds won't know what hit them. We're making bold, unapologetic ice cream for people who are done with boring. Walk into any freezer aisle and what do you see? Pastel colors, smiling cows, same flavor since 1987. That's perfectly fine. That's just not us. Our customer, 18 to 40, brand-driven, social first, bored with safe choices. They don't want plain vanilla. They want something loud, real, authentic to them. We're not reinventing ice cream. We're reinventing what ice cream looks like on the shelf. We're launching with 4 core flavors: death metal vanilla, a jet black ice cream, vanilla ice cream that tastes as bold as it looks. Cocoa After Dark is a smooth, dark chocolate ice cream with a punch of cinnamon to the taste buds. Jitters is a coffee ice cream with, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Jitters is a coffee ice cream chock full with chocolate-covered espresso beans. And Dominator is a reverse cookie dough ice cream that tastes just like eating cookie dough right out of a tub. We've had tastings, and the Jitters and the Dominator are always top rated. Every pint is made to stop everyone mid-scroll. Our packaging is not just to hold ice cream, it's to start conversations. Every photo posted is an ad that we didn't pay for. Our model is we're going to be using a co-backer at start for lean operations. We'll be putting pints in branded freezers in high-traffic areas, breweries, coffee shops, campus spots, no storefronts, no massive overhead. We plug into the existing foot traffic. We skip the grocery store shelves and sell directly through our freezer network and pop-up events. Phase 1 is pints, freezer networks, and pop-up events. Phase 2 is throat punch trailer with all the attitude of the brand on wheels. Phase 3 would be regional expansion into like-minded communities. Throat Punch Ice Cream Company is not just a business, it's a Humboldt story. Million-plus tourists every year come to Humboldt County looking for something different. We are going to give them something to take home and talk about. Our freezers live where our locals hang out, breweries, coffee shops, tattoo parlors. We'd turn Humboldt regulars into Throat Punch loyalists. With 6,000 Cal Poly Humboldt students that will not only buy our brand, they'll wear it, and they'll become our ambassadors and our pop-up hosts that we hire. The long game is to bring manufacturing home and create jobs and keeping dollars local. Voodoo Donuts put Portland on the map. We're going to do the same for Humboldt. I spent almost 30 years in law enforcement and retired as a probation officer. I operate well under pressure and build trust fast. As a probation officer, no one was ever happy to see me. I retired and said I was going to start an ice cream company because no one cheers when a probation officer shows up with a cup, but everyone is happy when the ice cream man does. So I'm becoming one. We've had tastings with real customers. Our one news story on the news has inspired inquiries on how they can get their hands on our products. That's demand that we didn't manufacture. We've been contacted by local businesses about placements of freezers. We're in talks with other businesses. That's traction with $0 spent. Just imagine what we could do when we have $10,000. Liquid Death built a $1 billion brand by putting water in a can because the branding hit harder than the category expected. Voodoo Donuts built a global brand from one weird donut shop. Liquid Death and Voodoo Donuts prove that people don't just buy products, they buy personality. Ice cream hasn't had their disruptive moment yet. Throat Punch Ice Cream Company can be that brand, starting right here in Humboldt County. $10,000 funds the first 3 freezers, pop-up events, first production run, and launch-ready packaging. At $8 a pint, 50% margins, 1 freezer with 25 pints a week is cash flow positive. Scale to 20 freezers and $55,000 in annual profits.
All right, sorry, Throat Punch. You did great. Time's up. Let's hear it for Throat Punch. You crushed it. We're going to head to the judges here.
Hello. How's it going?
Good, how you doing?
So you mentioned using a co-packer to manufacture your ice cream. Just curious if where they're located, if they're local or out of the area?
It's in the Bay Area. We don't have a local co-packer here yet.
Okay.
I've been in discussions with a local that is working on it, but they're not ready yet. Okay. And we eventually are going to bring the manufacturing back to Humboldt County.
Okay.
I have 2 questions. The first one is, you showed a pop-up truck or a truck. Have you thought about a vehicle driving through neighborhoods, and if so, what music would you choose?
The music would be something heavy, something rambunctious.
The other one was just about freezer space. Have you gotten any customers yet to put freezers on their
We
cars?
haven't started yet.
Okay.
We're waiting to get some funding so we could get the production run and get the freezers and put them in places. Okay. I have some places that have contacted me about putting freezers in.
Have you sourced your packaging already?
Not yet. I'm still working on that part.
As far as the freezer network goes, you hit on it just a second ago, but could you elaborate on that a little bit in terms of how would you visualize that? You would have the freezer network at different places of business where the students are already going. Would that be like a split in terms of the proceeds from the ice cream sales would go back to the business owner? How do you envision that?
Yes, there'll be a portion of the sales will be going back to the businesses that host the freezer network or the pop-up events.
And then what's your plan in terms of ice cream is fairly a seasonal business, especially in Humboldt County? What are your thoughts in terms of, have you planned for that at all, the seasonality aspect of it?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I'm hard of hearing.
The seasonality aspect of it, have you planned for that or thought about that piece of it?
We're still working on a lot of our logistics now, but we are planning for the slow season and since we're targeting like Cal Poly students, we also understand that the summer season, there won't be the Cal Poly students, so we are working on plans to integrate on other areas.
Okay.
And regarding the logistics, you have a plan for cold storage and distribution, like how to get the ice cream?
I've contacted them before. I haven't set up a plan yet, but there's a commercial kitchen in Arcata that has freezer storage space for rent by the month.
So that's where, and just to get this out of the way straight up front, I could eat ice cream 365 days a year. I love me some ice cream. So you're going to store, so your co-packer is going to ship, is that the deal? They're going to ship you your ice cream up here?
We're working on the logistics of that with the co-packer that I've been talking with.
Okay.
So I'm supposed to contact them tomorrow to work out more details.
Excellent.
But we're going to work on the shipping part also. We've talked about that a little bit.
Okay. Thank you.
Can you share with us where your next tasting is so we could get a throat punch?
I'm sorry, I'm hard of hearing.
Can you share with us where your next tasting is so we could get a throat punch?
Oh, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Let's hear it for Throat Punch Ice Cream one more time. Yeah, let's hear it for all of the contestants. And I'm about to, nice work. And I'm about to hand you to Samantha.
Yes.
Oh,
Thank you to
Samantha.
our microventure judges. You have a hard job ahead of you. Thank you to all of our contestants. How do I even follow that? What a diverse group of passionate people who are not only following their dreams, they are seeking to make meaningful change and impact here in our region. If all of those finalists are successful, and we believe they will be, that will generate $4 million in revenues for our region by the end of year 1 and over $150 million in revenues by the end of year 5. That's 30 new living wage jobs by year 1 and well over 200 living wage jobs by the end of year 5. Moreover, if all the semifinalists in this competition are successful and StartUp Humboldt will continue to support them, that's an additional 150 living wage jobs here in our region. That is an impact. That is why this competition exists. If you are a semifinalist in this competition, please stand up. I know you're here. I saw you. You have vendor spaces. Please stand up. If you were an applicant in this competition, if you were one of the brave 108 people who shared your idea with a brand new program, please stand up. I would like you to be recognized. And if you are a small business owner or an entrepreneur in our region, please stand up. I know you're here. I saw the guest list. I got an email every time you RSVP'd. You are here. You should be recognized. You are brave. You are pioneering your own path, and you are creating impact and change here in our region. Thank you. Thank you for all that you do. And this is the perfect segue to thank our sponsors. If Dan Co., Chico Start, and Co Central Credit Union could please come up here. What? Rainbow Self-Storage is also amazing. They couldn't be here tonight, but we love Rainbow Self-Storage. Thank you for donating. Thank you, Danco. 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 Thank you, Danco. Thank you, Chico Start. Absolutely, thank you. And last but absolutely not least, thank you to our Titan sponsor, Coast Central Credit Union. Thank you. Feels like a handshake moment. This evening would not be the caliber that it is today without Coast Central Credit Union, so thank you very much. We have a 15-minute break to give a little bit of time for these microventure judges to make that challenging decision, and we'll circle back here in 15 minutes to find out the answer to the question we've all been waiting to know. Who will win access to this $200,000 in milestone-based funding? I'll see you in a bit. So let's call up our award presenters this evening. We need Eva Shepard-Nickel come up to the stage along with Fred Moore, Coast Central Credit Union. Those are our microventure award presenters this evening. I would also like the contestants of the microventures to please come up to the stage. I'd like you over here. Come on, come on. We're finally gonna find out. Again, this is Eva Shepard-Nickel with Chico Start and Fred Moore, Coast Central Credit Union, to present the Microventure Awards. Over here, please. I need to hand you the envelopes. Okay. Both of these work? All right, great. That one is for you.
The envelope, please.
After you.
Okay, thank you, Fred. Can we get a drum roll? Can we? Right on. All right, thank you. It is with great pleasure and it is a great honor to give out this first award. And the first award for $10,000 goes to GroundedAI. Come on up. I'll hand you your check. Do I help her hold it? Okay, do I help her hold it? Okay, there you go.
Can we get a round of applause for all of the contestants tonight? For the better part of 75 years, Coast Central Credit Union's motto has been people helping people. And just in the last year, we revised our core values. And one of our primary core values is cultivating innovation. And tonight, you saw that with every single contestant up here. These entrepreneurs are the economic heartbeat of Humboldt. And so for us to be thriving and viable as a community and an economy, we need all of them. So no matter who wins, we're all winners because these entrepreneurs are pushing the pathway forward. The $15,000 winner is LAF Systems. Congratulations.
And we have a special announcement. The microventure judges, they really couldn't decide. So we have a $5,000 award from Lost Coast Ventures for throat punch ice cream. Everybody wins. We got compost, we got throats punch, we have AI. Next up is our Scale Ventures. I would like to invite all Scale Venture contestants to the stage. I also want to make clear that these decisions were made by an independent judging panel. The StartUp Humboldt Governing Board got us to finalists, and then this is all the judges, all our independent judges. All right. I would like to welcome Casey Flynn with the Sponsored Programs Foundation at Cal Poly Humboldt, and Dr. Keith Flamer, president of College of the Redwoods, also to the stage to announce the grand prize and second prize winner this evening. this one on? All right.
We're good. It's okay. We got it. It's on. Thank you. On behalf of Cal Poly Humboldt and College of the Redwoods, we'd love to congratulate our contestants. Give them one more round of applause. Yep, can we get a drum roll, please? For
$50,000. I feel like I'm an Academy Awards. Here we go. $50,000 winner goes to GridIQ.
And in addition to that $50,000, GridIQ has also been awarded an additional $5,000 from BlueTechValley. That is a $55,000 award this evening.
Congratulations.
And I have this incredible trophy designed by an intro to design engineering class at Cal Poly Humboldt. I know some of you are here. And they designed this living terrarium trophy for the BlueTechValley Prize. You probably need two hands. I can hold it. Yeah. Okay, be careful. Congratulations.
All right. One final drum roll, please, for $125,000. And our winner is Jersey Scoops.
Congratulations. Will all contestants please stay on the stage? All winners please stay on the stage. We have closing remarks with Dan Phillips, co-founder of Lost Coast Ventures.
Thank you, everyone. Wow, what an evening. Congratulations, certainly to our winners, but to all of our contestants. Didn't they do a fantastic job? Wasn't this high energy? Incredible. A few thank yous, but I have to call, a lot of us did a lot to contribute or had our different roles, but the true leader of all this was Samantha. She ran this thing incredible job. I want to say thank you to our judges. Couldn't have done it. I'm glad it was you making those tough decisions and not me. But thank you. And thank you to our donors, our sponsors here tonight. Tonight didn't happen. Those funds, those checks didn't happen without their support. And I want to say thank you to everybody in this room. Everybody in this room is here tonight because they care about the North Coast. You care about our communities. You care about our region and our people. We have lots of challenges in front of us in our area. Certainly healthcare and homeless and just economic challenges and poverty rates that are too high. But at the core of a thriving, successful, prosperous North Coast beats the heart of an economic engine. And that's what tonight was all about. That's what StartUp Humboldt is all about. Yeah. Woo! So, listen, I want to thank each of you, what you brought here, but I have an ask, and I'll say one other thing here. As we think about this, the core of why we're here and why this is important, it's a team effort, and it's people coming together. It's people coming together as a team. This doesn't happen. A prosperous North Coast doesn't happen with all of you coming together, working together. And so my call to action for each of you tonight is to do what you can in supporting this effort. Roll your sleeves up. If you are an employer, look to hire locally, look to reach out, create internships for our students. The path to realizing this vision of a prosperous North Coast, it's not a short one and it's not an easy one. It takes a lot of people coming together. So that's what we need. We need all of you coming together and support us. It takes a village. Join our village. Thank you.